Hello everybody, I'm here with Mickey. Mickey, say hello.
Hello everybody.
Just make sure the microphone's right on top of you, Mickey, so we can hear you. Yeah, anyway, Mickey sent me the link to this video, didn't you?
Yeah, I think, sent it in on one of our channels.
And
One of our good friends.
even if you watch this and think quite innocently, I kind of like how this guy's explaining that sort of their prompting. You can't, you're not going to be allowed to let them do this and do that. This is about Twitter and about the freedom of speech.
Don't speak.
And the press, these ones, are saying, you are monitoring it, aren't you? You are going to deal with it. And this guy here is saying, well, if it's that bad, the police should get involved. We've got freedom of speech. And it is a bit strange in it because obviously he has an opinion and he knows what he sees. But when this lady comes along, he has an opinion about her, but basically he feels that she wasn't born in the country where she's now telling people what to do. So
Yeah,
he didn't really like that very much.
She's an immigrant herself, isn't she?
Yeah, and I don't mean that badly because, like I say, we're all immigrants, really.
Yeah.
But, it's a bit like, now being told what to do by... Yeah, anyway. I think people get the general idea. But anyway, I prefer peace and harmony myself.
Yeah, well. Yeah, he's cool.
Anyway, we're going to watch this video by him. This video is not on YouTube. It's on... Oh, what is it on, Mickey?
Crikey, I think
Is it Rumble or something like that?
Yeah, it could well be.
Because obviously you just get the video, so I don't quite know where it comes from. But thanks very much to Jim at Dore making this video, even just to point things out to us. It's an opinion. I mean, maybe you don't like that he's quite as frank, because obviously he blames the Bidens. He's not that keen about Trump either.
No, he has worse to say.
The reason I picked this video is, is that he can see it. He can see it all. He can see what's going on. And I like that because obviously the more of us that see it, the better. Isn't it, Mickey?
Yeah, the truth, as they say.
Yeah, anyway. Oh, carry on, darling.
Yeah, the truth in plain sight. They're telling you what they're doing. They're not afraid of it.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll let the video begin now. Thanks very much, Mickey.
Thank you, Cam.
This happened at the White House briefing room, and this should scare you. This should scare you. That these are reporters, and they're acting more like I remember that sketch, The Church Lady. That's what these people are acting like. They're afraid of what this country is founded on. And what is this country founded on? Freedom. And freedom scares them, especially the First Amendment. They really hate the First Amendment. Here, watch this.
Moment, really, in terms of ensuring that Twitter does not become a vector for misinformation.
She's afraid that, she says, what are you doing to make sure that Twitter doesn't become a vector of misinformation? Boy, these guys really, here we go.
Moment, really, in terms of ensuring that Twitter does not become a vector for misinformation. I mean, are you concerned about Elon Musk says there's more and more subscribers coming online. Are you concerned about that? And what tools do you have? Who is it at the White House that is really keeping track of this?
Oh my, who is keeping track of it? People are talking on Twitter. Are you aware of this? That right now people are being allowed to speak freely on a social media platform. What? I just don't even know what to say about that. What are you? They're talking about this like it's a Class 5 hurricane. Imagine if these hacks showed the same concern about possibility of a nuclear war with Russia and China, instead of being sexually aroused by the possibility. Watch how she handles this question.
Moment, really, in terms of ensuring that Twitter does not become a vector for misinformation. I mean, are you concerned about Elon Musk says there's more and more subscribers coming online. Are you concerned about that? And what tools do you have? Who is it at the White House that is really keeping track of this?
So look, this is something that we're certainly keeping an eye on. And look, we have always been very clear, and that when it comes to social media platforms, it is their responsibility to make sure that when it comes to misinformation, when it comes to the hate that we're seeing, that they take action, that they continue to take action. Again, we're all keeping a close eye on this. We're all monitoring what's currently occurring.
The White House is keeping a close eye and monitoring people speaking freely on Twitter. They're monitoring it. By the way, the biggest liars of misinformation are her and the government, okay? Joe Biden. Remember when Joe Biden keeps saying that his kid died in Iraq? Joe Biden said that if you get the vaccine...
I cut that bit out, but it's about what the government are being taken to court for, having to take something that you didn't have to take. That's what he's talking about.
So these people, I mean, they lie. Joe Biden's the biggest liar in the world. He's a better and bigger liar than Trump. I know that sounds crazy, but I have the receipts. I can show it to you anytime you want. These are the people who are keeping an eye on Americans talking amongst themselves. We're going to keep an eye. You know, that's called Big Brother. And we're watching you. That's what that is. We're watching you.
And we see it with our own eyes of what you all are reporting, and just for ourselves, what's happening on Twitter.
We see it. We see people talking and using free speech and enjoying the protections of the First Amendment. We see it. And it's upsetting. We see people speaking freely in the United States, and it's upsetting. We see it.
Obviously, he's giving his own opinion about what he feels, but in a sense, I understand. It's most strange when, basically people who are immigrants are now telling you what to do. That's his point here. So, yeah, let's carry on with the video. He says a bit more, but let's carry on.
And censorious and take away your freedom of speech. Isn't that fun? It's so much better than having a straight white guy do it. It's less offensive.
But again, social media companies have a responsibility to prevent their platforms from being used by any user to incite violence, especially violence directed at individual communities.
Yeah, that's already done, but it's already being done. That's already in the law. You don't need Twitter. If somebody is doing something that's illegal on Twitter, don't you think the law enforcement should get involved? Or do you want some jagoff from Silicon Valley who nobody knows to take care of it? If somebody's breaking the law, don't we have law enforcement agencies to take care of that? The answer is yes, we do.
As we have been seeing, and the president has been very clear on calling that out. He'll continue to do that, and we're going to continue to monitor the situation. Go ahead, Phil.
I don't know which one makes me more ill. A journalist asking a question that almost begs for censorship, or that the government admitting it is keeping an eye on Twitter, especially since it's going to be investigated for previously being in cahoots with Twitter to censor users. The government, Apple, Amazon, and Google united in controlling the flow of information. The merger between state and corporate power. Hey, what's it called? What's that called when corporations and the state merge to screw over? I can't remember. It sounds like bashism or something. That's right. Or maybe it's called the Great Reset. It's far past the time to end the American censorship regime. They don't care about misinformation. Politicians don't care about misinformation, you dupe. They're the ones they want to be able to control the narrative. That's all this is about. It's about the establishment, the oligarchy, The corporate media controlling the narrative. So you don't get to ever question, hey, did the virus come from the Wuhan lab? You're a racist. Why? Because the establishment doesn't want you to know where the virus came from because they funded it. So they call you a racist and say you're a misinformer, and they call you a conspiracy theorist and smear you. And the people who did all that lying, nothing ever happens to those people. Fauci, the government, the people in corporate media, nothing ever happens to those people. Everyone pretends Joe Rogan's the asshole, even though he got everything right.